so it's all happening because, climate change is, the temperature is going up, and, all the usual systems that we're used to are all getting messed up and moved around. So I guess that's what I've seen. One thing that I really noticed was I was in the States in October, and they're talking about how the southeast United States, around Georgia and Atlanta, had been in the biggest drought in 100 years. And so I flew over, and you could see the lakes and how much water was gone. So I had like the bathtub ring, all this exposed dirt. The city itself was in a state of emergency. They were only 60 days from running out of water. So that was kind of a realization that it can happen even in your backyard.
If sea levels rise like they're supposed to, which is 2 to 3 meters or 6 to 10 feet, then we'd be underwater, and the water to go over this thing, and the whole town of St. Kilda and St. Clair would be underwater. We'd definitely be up to water, up to our waists. There'll be a meter sea rise no matter what we do. It's just a matter of keeping it at that.
You start to see more of these severe droughts. Places like Australia, when I was over there, having really big issues with water management and resource, but for irrigation, for agriculture, but just for so people can drink water. You start to see bigger storms. I guess Hurricane Katrina is the classic one. I think further climate change and problems is inevitable. I think it's too late. We've already messed up. So it's just a matter of damage control. So how bad is it going to be? I want to spin to the camera.
Why?
Because it'll be ridiculous. Can I do it now?
Okay.
Alright, ask a question. I came here initially wanting to work on renewable energy generation, so solar and wind, find different ways to get energy. And then started looking at graphs and stuff, and in New Zealand, like 40% of primary energy, so that's everything that's coal, gas, is used, 40% of this is used for transportation, which is crazy, that's more than, homes, businesses, industry, all that combined. They're doing it incredibly inefficiently, people are driving around all over the place, in single commuter cars, poor planning, you have giant car parks and big boxes, and nobody sees each other, but then you have climate change coming out of the tailpipe and air emissions. There's a huge problem right here, and it's done quite inefficiently, so it's not like you have to incremental changes. You can make a really easy big change and make a big difference. So the first week of January, what I've achieved, I try to predict how much electricity is going to be used by electric vehicles coming online. In the day, when everybody wakes up, electricity is at its highest point of demand. Late afternoon, early evening, when everybody comes home, it shoots up again. So I'm looking at ways where you can charge these electric vehicles so that they don't make those peaks any higher. So it's actually called trough filling, where you charge your electric vehicle at night. You can charge your electric vehicle either at night when electricity is cheap and more plentiful, or you can charge it when the wind's blowing. So anytime the country and the wind's blowing, and all the wind turbines are spinning, you could send a signal to your car. It says, charge now, the wind's blowing. You charge it up. And then at times when the demand's really high during the day, or at times when the wind's not blowing, then you could tell your car, put the electricity back. So you have two-way connection. That's kind of the whole package. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
A week from Monday, April 2nd, I'm going to have my thesis finished and handed in. And I'm going to take my time leaving New Zealand and give myself a week to see the North Island, go on a road trip. And then I'm going to fly back home to America and spend some time with my family for about a week. And then I'm going to move to New York City. And we're working with low-income housing, helping them save energy. I'm going to be seeing some crazy things in crazy parts of New York, and big apartment complexes with low-income housing, and it's going to be a life experience. And I like life experiences, so.
To say that I'm righteous and everybody else is wrong and be a lie, because I'm just as much as the problem as anybody else. All that is walking trips I take or bicycling trips I take are negated by one flight to the United States. I have the same amount of CO2 released doing that as I do driving around 365 days a year in an SUV. But that's also expanded my worldview and horizons. And, for instance, in New Zealand, I've learned so much, and I wouldn't do it any other way. Cool. things are definitely going to be quite different. I think that we're due for, maybe for the better. The standard of living might take a few steps back. I mean, we're pretty comfortable now, and I think we've even exceeded our ability to be comfortable and kind of went full circle, and now we have all these new problems of stresses and mental health and all these issues that maybe if we simplified a little bit, I don't know, everybody would be a little happier.
Try to do something with it.
Too cheesy.
Is it? Okay, it's a bit. Yeah.
You can just cut to it at the end or something.